I'm here in the Georgetown Whisky Room with Kevin. The Whisky Room is upstairs in Georgetown. The decor looks great, Kevin. I really like what I see. Can you tell me a little bit more about the bar? When did you guys open?
It's only been about 4 or 5 years, but much of it is very authentic. You get that authentic feel because it all came over from Ireland.
All right, okay. So this was actually a bar in Ireland? Well, or it's just been ordered and shipped?
The bar is from Ireland, but also the woodwork is all in Dublin. There was a place called the Royal Bank of Ireland, and when they closed that, they took all the woodwork, sold it at auction, and shipped it, and then we bought it and shipped it over here for us.
Oh, that's really nice. So it's got a real Irish authenticity to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great. One of my favourite questions is what's an unusual whiskey you've got? So you've picked one here. Can you tell me a little bit about this one?
I'd say the most unusual is probably our 34-year-old annual release of cask strength whiskey from a previously closed distillery, a famous distillery over in the Islay section of Scotland, the Port Ellen 34 year.
So this is a 30-year-old whiskey?
It's 34 years old.
34?
They laid it to barrel in 1978 and aged it 34 years until 2012 when they decided it was
ready
mature,
to, yeah.
And took it and sent it over to us.
What time does the bar open? What time's it close? What days of the week?
We're 7 days. We open at 5 o'clock every day, and we go weeknights normally until midnight. So Sunday through Thursday until midnight for last call, and then the weekends until volume, usually 2 o'clock-ish.
Yep. And do I need to make a booking, appointments or anything, or does it just come as you are?
You're certainly welcome to make a booking. Reservations would be recommended, especially for larger groups. Like if you have like 5 or more,
yep, it'd
normally be a good idea. If it's 1 or 2 of you, 3, you can certainly stop in.
Yep. So you don't serve food up here, but food's served. Oh, you do serve food up here? Okay.
Yeah, we do the full menu, as well as we have a small whiskey room exclusive menu.
Okay.
As well.
And I'm assuming you guys focus on Irish whiskies?
We do. We have the largest collection of Irish whiskies in the area and in the Mid-Atlantic states. However, we still have more scotches and bourbons, simply because there are more available.
There are more of those available. Yeah. Do you have appreciation nights or nights where I can come and learn more about whiskey?
We do. You could always come in and learn more about whiskey if you like. We have our flights and duels available, basically for those purposes. Flights are going to be 3 or 4 whiskeys to compare and contrast. In duels, we try to keep it a fair fight with just 2 whiskeys facing off head to head. But also every Wednesday, our manager, Sally, is up here and holds whiskey tastings, where she explains the different nuances and specialties of the whiskeys.
So I've not seen duels before. I've seen flights, you know, they're pretty common. So tell me a little bit more about what's the idea behind the duel?
So a duel is you get 2 really nice quality whiskeys. Then we have a couple that feature the Japanese against a couple other like Scotches or Irish whiskeys.
Okay, yeah.
Or 2 like top level Irish whiskeys facing off. And that way you get 2 really quality whiskeys, and you can just sip those 2 and enjoy those 2 and discover the differences,
yeah.
the similarities and the differences. Like the Japanese sometimes have many similarities to Scotch, so you can kind of get both. You don't have an extra whiskey sitting there.
Yep. Well, I'm a bit of a fan of Japanese whiskies and a bit of a fan of Scotch, so I might grab a duel. So what would you recommend as a duel for the Japanese and the Scotch one?
I'd say the Atlantic versus Pacific.
Okay. Well, we'll give that a try.
That would be the Highland Park 18 from just outside Kirkwall against the Yamazaki 18.
Okay. Right, well, we'll give that a try and come back in a little bit and let you know how it goes. I've just finished the Atlantic versus the Pacific duel, which was really enjoyable. It's not something I've seen elsewhere, so that was great. Kevin also recommended the Port Ellen and the, let's see if I get this right, Komagataki.
Nice.
Did I get that right? Komagataki. both amazing. So if you come here, ask for them because you actually really enjoy them. Really love the venue. The fact that you guys have got the actual real Irish bar and brought it over here, I think is really impressive. If you're in Washington DC, come and look these guys up. You're going to have a really good time. You can duck downstairs, have something nice to eat, and come up and catch Kevin and have a really good time here.
Glad to hear it.